Day 1760. Hope you're amazing. I am Pink Pearl Restaurant in Vancouver. Tonight I am the MC of the VPABC Scholarship Fundraiser Awards Dinner. And so right now we're just watching a quick presentation for Danny Pack, the owner of Danny Pack. He's the keynote speaker, so I'm going to bring you in to let you see it. But yeah, really grateful for this event. I'm the MC tonight, so I'll be up and down all the time. But as you can see, I'm wearing a traditional Vietnamese wear. Vietnamese wear called Áo Dài. Anyways, let's come on in. We have 11 tables. 12 tables actually. Sign-in table.
Said you want to know a little bit more about me, so that's like 5 minutes. So you know the story. Well, tonight I got invited here as an honor to speak in front of multiple professional members here. I came back here as a big deal because I was going to turn it down because I have to fly from Hawaii to Fresno to do my harvest pistachio, and then I have to come up here last week to see there was another event for fundraising. Then I have to get back to Fresno again, and then come right back tonight. So back and forth, and then supposedly I will fly back to Maui tomorrow if I get a flight. So this is how busy my life is, and I'm running around for nothing. Because if you hear the news, Hawaii was on a burning ground in Maui, and I'm a part-time living in Maui. So one part was an island called Lahaina was burned down last August. So all the history on Maui, because I'm Chinese, Dr. Satya Singh, national founder, he lived in Maui, and he's the one bring the Qing dynasty down and then create the Republic of China. So Maui means a lot to the Chinese. And the monument about Dr. Satya Singh was burned down in Lahaina last year. So I was devastated. So, and I thought maybe the Chinese have to carry on the shoulder. So I went back to Maui and said, what can I help with the island? So I said, there's nothing on the island except tourism. So I said, well, if I can help the local indigenous people, surprisingly, the story I can tell you is about going to take me hours to let you know who owns Maui. A story short, there was a missionary came to Hawaii during the early day, and then he was giving cruises. So I give you some factor about risk. So not everyone willing to take risk. If you don't take risk, you will be working for somebody. But if you're working for somebody, you still have to take risks because you're going to make judgment, you make decision. So you'd rather make decision for yourself or you make decision for your employers. So for me, as a young man coming to Canada in 1978, not 1970, Julie, not 1972, that would be too early. So how I come here? 18. Risk my life. I get on the fishing boat at night. Millions of Vietnamese, overcrowded fishing boats, put 285 people on board with some Cambodian. And back in 79 was turmoil, if you remember, between conflict, China, Cambodia, Vietnam. So Chinese caught in between. So the government in Vietnam, they said, well, quietly, to the Chinese, it's time for you guys to leave. So we left Vietnam by paying a lot of gold. So I don't know where to go as a young man, 18 years old. And I don't know the map, east to the Philippines, west to Gulf of Thailand, south to Singapore, north to Hong Kong. So many of them end up in Hong Kong for years. So it was a dream for young men, and we know it's danger. But you don't have a choice. You need to stay in Vietnam, hunger, starving, and then the political back then wasn't that good. So I left. And that was my first risk. Because you go get on the ocean, you don't know what the hell is going on tomorrow. And then, yes, we don't know. The tide was so high, and then flew us back from Maytalk to Vũng to end up in Montgomery. So overnight, we got one casualty. One of the young men got flipped over and we lost him on the ocean. So 286 and down to 285. So that was the first risk. And yeah, we didn't finish the risk. Because once the second time the communists said, oh, you paid already, get out. So we got out. Second time attempt to the sea. This time we lost the GPS. There's no GPS, but compass, and brought me to Gulf of Thailand. So once we're in Thailand, we said, oh my God, we'll do. Because next day we have 11 pirate ships attack us. Men and women got killed, and I was young, and they all about to cut my testicle off. So I was spared, and that was nervous. So we were about to slam our fishing boat into the Malaysian rig, but they said, no, don't do suicidal thing. We give you direction, you go to Singapore. And we know Singapore is not going to take refugees. So we ended up in a place called JB, Johor Bahru. So that was my second home. So when people ask me, Dan, where you from? Actually, I found myself there on the sea. So my second life was in JB, called Johor Bahru. So people ask me, where you from? I said, JB. So that's my risk. I landed in Malaysia, JB for 6 months. And one day, Canadian High Commission said, who want to go to Canada? And without hesitation, I said, raise your hand. And there's 22,000 others. But only a few men said, I'm going to Canada. Nobody knows what Canada is. But one thing I know the map. So the immigration officer said, you can walk from where you are to United States. I said, well, really? They show you a map. So I said, okay, I will walk to United States once I go to Canada. But once I came to Canada, I saw white rock. Good luck to you, man. If you don't have any document, you're never going to make it to the United States. So yeah, okay, I stayed. Good. But my second risk was the second chapter when I come to Vancouver. Vancouver airport is very small, and then I come here with someone from the jail, right? So you got a number here in front of you, and you're hanging it, you're walking, and then no, you don't have belonging. Just your same short you wear from Malaysia, and same shirt you wear for last 8 months. No clothing. But luckily, we got put in, as soon as we get to Edmonton, they put us in the base, the army base. So they give us jacket, give us GWG right away. If you don't know GWG back then, that's a Canadian brand, okay? GWG. So we got jeans, we got shirt, and then we got jacket, and then we got runners, Adidas runner. So put us in the base, and a few weeks later we check our body. They said, you go to Canada, Vancouver, Canada, but you're not living in Vancouver. You don't have the luxury. I said, well, what is the luxury living in Vancouver? But by the time we get to Richmond Airport, I said, my life is doomed. Because a couple, white guy, tall, and then later on I recognized him like Sean Connery. And she's like a Julie Roberts. So they picked me up, give me a hug, said, Dan, you're my son. When I become your son? I'm 18. So dozing, put me in the car, a hatchback Honda. And you know, anyone drive a Honda, hatchback Honda in the 80s, with a stick. Yeah. So get me to back then from the airport to Port Coquitlam. They try to explain to me a place called Port Coquitlam without a port. I don't care. I get there, they said, wow, deer running in the back of my house. There will be bears. So, but you don't need to close the door. It's safe here. I sat for 3 days, and this couple said, then George and the wife called Irene. I have a hell of a time to call Irene. George. So, but this is how I learned my English. Just say, Porgy, Georgie, Georgie, Porgy. So keep repeat, Porgy, Georgie, Georgie, Porgy. and just keep saying, Irene, good night, Irene, good night. Have you heard about these songs? Good night, Irene, good night, Irene. I see you in my dream. That's my two crazy parents. I took the risk into their house. They take the biggest risk to receive an 18 years old boy. And they said to me, you have a brother 13 years old, and you have a sister 11 years old. And this is, we both take risks. And the next thing is, I end up scrubbing the floor, doing a toilet bowl, and doing chores in the warehouse. And next thing, they give me a hat, and then give me an apron, and said, Dan, you're sitting here doing nothing. Do the washing, do this, do that. And then come out here, dump a granola tray, and pack holes in, keep continuing doing what you do. And wash the toilet bowl, hug them, and then see yourself. If you see the water and see yourself, you're not afraid of the toilet bowl. That's it, boy. You do a great job. So this is how I got trained by my white parents. I take the second risk by living with them. They also take a risk. So by the time I grow up living with them for 10, 11, 13 years, so it's time for them to retire. So I said, oh gee, I got lost. Without a parent, what am I going to do? But my parents are good. They make sure they help me financially to sponsor my bio parent from Vietnam to Canada and find them a job. My mother ended up working in Grandma Island, and my father ended up working in Water Street gas town. And all my siblings all enrolled to school and then working for the Cabinet Food and baking granola. And this is what I obligate to my Canadian family. They take risks. I also take risks, but I obligated to help them to build their business, build their empire. And then one day they decided, enough. They sold the business, I got lost. So I have to take risks again. At 30, I have no experience, but I have energy. I have a family to feed, so I have to work. And I remember I opened a corner store at Stephen and West Broadway, a corner store doing $400 a day. And everybody said, Dan, you are wrong, you're taking risks. Why are you operating a grocery store right next to Sept? And I said, what's wrong with that? I said, when a customer buys stuff at Safeway, it's so expensive, they come over and buy from me, I'm cheaper. So I just go out and Vietnamese, hey, buy banana for me, 59 cents a pound. I discount to you, okay? So this is how I build my business and stand by the giant. So after that, I've been going around the world, do my speech at the university, encourage people, start up. I said, the best, you open a business where the giant, you stand right next to the giant, they are the big tree, and you stand under the shade. To any other business, the same thing. If some guy open a big tire factory, you open a small tire factory right next to them. Okay. So this is how actually Vietnam is. If you go back to Vietnam, Yeltsin Street, everybody sells the same electrical. And then you go to the market, sell suit, they all sell sandal and slipper that compete each other. So, but actually that is how you groom the business. So that's my third risk, taking standing next to the giant. And being little is good because of small. Actually, you make small money, but you're going to add up the penny. So being a small guy right next to the Safeway, being a small guy right next to the superstore, being a small guy business in plastic, and next to the giant plastic factory, I'm making plastic too. So eventually, my plastic make me $1 million. My paper make me millions of dollars. My food make me millions of dollars. So I always humble being small. Don't try to be a giant. So today, we own 6-7 factories. We're still a small business enterprise. I never tell people we are a conglomerate, we're globalized. No, we don't. We're only a small, independent, family-owned business. And being small, that's the unique of the running a business. And going back to 1 year, my Canadian father is a little bit crazy too. They take me back to Vietnam, 1991. I said, no, George, it's so difficult get out of Vietnam. My family is in Vancouver. We have a great life. But he said, I want to see your country. So I said, oh, gee, what a fool, what you know, Vietnam. So we get up here, Vietnam, Fundraiser Airport, the communists strip our luggage, and inside out, how much money in the pocket, blah, blah, blah. We were so scared because I said, George, I escaped Vietnam 1979. What happened? They know I escaped, and now they can arrest me, put me in jail, and blackmail us money. But luckily, they didn't do that. So the government in Vietnam opened the door, and they actually found all the way to Vancouver to find me, and then invite me back to Vietnam, asked me, can you help us? And I said, well, we don't get along because you confiscate all our assets. Now you ask me to help. So it's so ironic. But I said, okay, based on humanity, I know the country is poor, and I said, okay, I'm going to come here to help. The first thing I help is the poor. So we adopt about 25 or 30 deaf and mute right away without hesitation, 1992. So from there, I hired nuns to manage my deaf and mute. And people say, well, why you help? I said, the deaf and mute on the street, I just said to Tammy, Lee comes a song, deaf don't afraid of the fire shot, the gunshot. So I said, that's why we sponsor deaf children in Vietnam, because the community social abandoned them, because they use it, so we pick them up. So 1992, that's how I started my charity work in Vietnam. And then later on, we do, the government asked me, what can you do? I said, well, you can't shoot. Because my dad, George, said, help the country, you can't shoot. So my dad said, then Yahoo available. You register your Yahoo Mail cashew king. I said, George, why are we doing this? He said, you be the king. I crown you to be the king. So then we bought, eventually we registered the cashew king, and worth $2 million. Because somebody tried to buy the domain for $2 million. I didn't sell it. So today I have cashew king and Gmail, cashew king, Yahoo, and add together, I might make $5 million.
You can donate to us.
Yeah, okay, that's a lesson for me. Risk. It's all about risk in life. So, proximity is power. You stand next to a giant, learn from them, serve what they miss. That's one. The sixth point is, hunger beats polish. You don't need perfect experience. You need relentless effort. Keep trying. Faith builds endurance. You gotta have faith in yourself. When the storm hits, faith keeps the wheels steady. We were on the rough sea, high tides, we survived. Yes, some of my friends, Tom and Yvonne didn't come. Her boat. My boat's only a day different. And her boat's a day after. We have 285. 86 with one dead. And her boat, 300 something. Bigger boat. Proud of themselves. But their boats arrived the next day. They lost 186 in their life, at the sea. So you have faith, you have direction, you should be able to get to your shores. Preparation turns faith into focus. That's what happened to us. Train before you see the wave. So we were trained because I'm one hell of a swimmer back then. Every day go swim, and they're just like the movie John Lee Ang made, thinking, once you have to see if the boats, sun and you can swim to shore. Hey, this is not Titanic, man. So, but at 18, I think, I'm not gonna die in the sea, so I swim for hours. So I still able to swim at the Maui shore for 1 hour a day, no problem. So train your feet to focus. Train yourself, and you can take the high waves. And people matter the most. You gotta have good connection with people, connect. And also, you have to have good sponsors, good mentors, good partners, and good family. So these 4 elements, you build relationship will last for lifetime. So like that table there with my gang, Sue is my partner at work, and her daughter has become my partner at work. They work at Danny Food for 30 years plus. How many lives you can work in one place for 35 years? So you build that long-term relationship. So when I'm away from visit, I know I'm in my business in good hands. So you're my friends, you're my business associates. Some of them, you're my mentor too. It doesn't matter how old I am, I still need young people being my mentor. So I have UBC, James Wang, he probably mentor me what to do when it comes to scholarship, when class to children. Because our company sponsor, if I know your organization 10 years ago, I would have the tax deduction already, man. Because Hua and me, working with Canadian government embassy in Hanoi, and we said, can we donate $50,000 per student? And we would like to send 5 students to Canada for education. That was 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, send 5 students to Calgary. Because I think differently. I don't put all the students in one spot. I told government Canada, we sponsor $250,000 on a 4-year terms, and make sure their tuition fee 100% paid by their non-foundation. And we don't get a tax deduction from them. Because those poor students from Vietnam take 4 years university. One was in Calgary, one's in New Brunswick, one in Nova Scotia, and one in Winnipeg, and one in UBC. And they all become somebody today. They don't even want to see me anymore. Because one of them, Michelle, Zolino, she ended up working for CN Rail, like $200,000 a salary a year for data analysis. And then I just called him Ding in the beginning at UBC. Now he's professor at UBC teaching. And I asked Ding, I said, I can no longer call him Ding anymore. Hi doctor, how are you? What do you teach at UBC? I said, don't tell me. Black hole, right? He said, you're right then. I am the one teaching the black hole. I just, randomly throw this out. And tonight is a little bit short, so he did not show. Otherwise, next time, with sufficient time, I'm going to bring Dr. Ding here to tell his confession. So we want to hold this talent in Canada. Of course, in our foundation, we always say, hey man, after you graduate, we expect you to go back to Vietnam, do community work, be a good doctor, after that, bye-bye, sayonara. They will be like another QT. Live in Canada for good, not going back to Vietnam. So in my program, we continue encourage the Vietnamese that please sign the contract with us, return home. We need cancer teacher, professor. We need doctor in Vietnam. So we team up with UBC. 2 years ago, we built a CLEP center in Vietnam. Because in Vietnam, some people, I don't care about Vietnam. I just go back for vacation. But for us, we work in Vietnam, so we see so many children. After the Agent Oranges in Da Nang, 50 years later, you still see those children born with the CLEP. So we team up with UBC that we're going to go back to Vietnam with very good doctor in UBC here. They all retired. And then show the live back together. And some good doctor, Dr. Nandy here tonight? Yeah, she's not here, but I think she paid for a dinner here tonight. So she's one part of the member, and then they do cosmetic. So the kids later on turn adult, they don't have the scar on the lip. And then one of the doctor in UBC teach them how to speak. So they will be speak perfect Vietnamese or English. So this is a hard Canadian professional from UBC or from different clinic, and we gather together every 2 years, go to Vietnam, help the Vietnamese, help the children in Vietnam. This part of I don't know who motivated me, maybe my late mother, Irene Kavanaugh, because she's the one, when we go to church every Sunday, she's always elbow me, 10%. So we always donate 10% of our income to our church. So my mother passed away last June, Irene, but she constantly remind me, Dan, are you donating? Dan, are you sponsorship now? Dan, are you doing your community church report? She's always chasing me to do my works because she knows my son's rich. So when I come back to Vancouver one time in Richmond, I talked to Dr. Kim Jae-Wing, and he told me the true thing about the hospital system in Canada, to tell me how bad it is. Because Richmond Hospital told me their CT scan broken down, it's 13 years or worn out, they only have one. So my employee, Lily, choose the angle, it takes 6 months to scan. So otherwise, good luck, you just paint and rough it out, cast it and sit it on 6 months. So go to the hospital, I said, no, this is not fair. We're pounding the Richmond Hospital. Why are you treating people like this? The hospital said, oh, this is how it's Canadian system. I said, son. So I said, tell me what you need. They said, well, we need you, possible, give us money to repair the CT scan. I said, 13 years. I said, just like my 13-year-old car. There's no ending for repair. So I said, how much you want? He said, okay, if you give us $2 million, $2.5 million to buy one scan. So I said, no, that's not good enough. I will buy you 2 new scans. And they were shocked. So I gave them $5 million to order 2 brand new scans. And it took 3 years. And then it's because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm very good negotiator. I said, okay, you go to Siemens, Germany, ask them, if you buy 2, can you get a loaner? And they said, yeah, right, good then. So we got a loaner. The first day got a loaner back, I said, okay, turn it on, scan my knee for free. So now Richmond Hospital got 2 CT scans. So I said to the whole community, Vietnamese community, if something happened to you, just say, oh, it's me, and rush to emergency. Oh, they don't send me here. I said, scan me. I said, we give the first treatment. And I'm Vietnamese. So, and then there's another problem with the hospital. Once you get the emergency, it's a 4-hour waiting. You can go home, watch the episode, and come back. Go home, watch a Korean drama, come back. And then that's not good enough. If that person have heart attack, or actually my in-law have heart attack, so call me all the way in Vietnam and said, no. I said, go in the hospital. Call Richard Cheng, right? Richard Cheng. Call him. He's a young. So once Richard came out, I said, oh my God, you need a bypass. And then send my in-law to St. Paul Hospital right away. So and then I walked in and said, hey, this is not good. This is not good. My in-law almost died. So, tell me what shall I do here? He said, oh, we need beds. I said, beds $4,000. Roller beds so cheap. Okay, give me 10. I said, no, not only that. 10 beds you will give us. Nurse, caretaker, space. And I said, wow, now I give you 10 beds, you want more than 10 beds. And I said, okay, give me the number. They said, $5 million. And I said, if I give you $5 million, you promise me bring in more Filipino nurse or Indonesian nurse in the future. Give me opportunities to introduce you Vietnamese nurse. They work very cheap too. So if you allow me to bring them in, I mean, it's for community. Otherwise, my grandmother submit in the hospital. You speak English? No. What language? Vietnamese. No one speaks Vietnamese here. Anyone? This is what happened right now. So I said, we have to change the system. We want to bring Vietnamese nurse, right? So you work on that. So I encourage everybody. I said, why don't we have a mailbox? Everybody have a mailbox, say, I live in Richmond. So make uses the healthcare system then on places there, especially the elderly. we have to call for action. My journey started on the crowded boat. You may start your business in a small apartment. Remember, Alibaba, small, 4 people, basic ID, and become a billionaire. Then on to nothing. Look at Bill Gates, look at Amazon, so all the Google, Facebook, everybody started business from garage, from small apartment. So I encourage the young people here, you have a good opportunity, school, which I don't. You should be leading the future, and you should not be afraid to start your business. And take the step you're afraid to take. Launch a thing you want to delay. No, you don't. Knock the door, but feel too big. Stand next to the giant. Remember, no one can build Rome by one person. It takes a lot of people to build Rome. How often you go to Rome? Anyone go to Rome? Please go to Rome. I go to Rome so many times. I was at the Vatican when Pope St. Francis died. And the funeral that day, Saturday, and me and Juan, we avoided traffic in daytime, so we prayed for him at night. We went to the Vatican. So also look at the China Great Wall. This doesn't build by one person, so you need a team. In your business, you select a good partnership. And today I run my business, I still select my partner, my workers, and my employees, and I treat my employees just like my own family, sibling. So there's no different, like Kevin Wong working for me for nearly 25 years, and we continue to invite the new members to our organization because you want to expand your business. And that is part of what I can share tonight. Like boys don't speak English, fearful. But after I come to Canada, I don't have the word fearful in my dictionary anymore. So when I open a corner store, I don't have scared. It's just, the word scared doesn't stay with me. I don't scare anything. So all I look is forward. And look, you see my business, I build small business to 6, 7, 8 factory. So it's difficult, lots of challenge, but you gotta take it. So for me, hey, I used to be skinny, handsome like James, black hair. Nowadays, an old man. That's what it costs. So imagine what you could build. And you gotta start today. The sea is always be out there. The wind continue to blow. The map is you to draw. You take the risk. My father once said, Dan, you start with $50,000, and then a few years later, you add a zero, and then 10 years later, you add another zero, and then you gotta add another zero every decade or so. And I think that was a joke back then. But now I reflect, hey, that guy was right. Because now every 10 years, I put a zero behind my assets. So I have many zero. So you can build your dream, build your own, build your Great Wall with a bunch of good friends. When the high tide hit, rise and fall, you have to make sure you bring a surfboard with you, okay? And thank you for the time you spare with me. And I'm going to charge you $100 per person here tonight. And all proceeds go to the VPABC, whatever, foundation. And you get a tax receipt. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. How about another round of applause for Mr. Dan out there? What a great and powerful and inspiring show. Thank you so much for sharing. And at this time, I'd like to invite Hugh Tram to come back up and to be able to say a couple words and to give a souvenir to Mr. Dan out there.
On behalf of VPABC Association, thank you very much. And we know that Dan has a very busy schedule. He will fly over the way, fly in, fly out. Like we just try to need to work, but we still spare the time to come here and speak with us. And it would cost us thousands of dollars to invite Dan, but he's willing to come here and volunteer to talk to us for free. And we appreciate it, and we don't have anything else but just a small souvenir from VPABC that we would like to you. And we also invite Dr. Kitty, who he was our last year's keynote speaker. And that was our second year organizing the event, and everything was a mess, and the order did not come on time, so we missed your souvenir. And Dr. King is very graceful, even though we missed it, he's still very nice, he still joined us. And today he also become one of our scholarship sponsors as well. And they also joined the ride with us. And again, students, as you can see today, the community, not only we talk, but we walk the talk. We sponsor you, and we also give as well. And thank you, I'm so sorry.
So big.
Oh, you know.
And I'm sorry, we're not done yet. One more today, we have a very special recognition award to one of our pioneering of the, we call the award is a Pioneering Leadership Award, because he was among the people who were first started the scholarship program that dragged on for the past 4 decades. And she has been part of that heart and story of our scholarship program since that day on, and she still continues today. And that person is Tally Down. Miss Tally Down. I would like to Tally was among the very first our parent generation who, back in the early 1990s, she helped create the scholarship tradition that is continuing until today. And she saw at that time, 40 years ago, she already saw the importance of investing in our young people, in our community. And the more important thing is, she never stopped. And what makes her time so special is her unwavering dedication to the young people and supporting the young people. And for more than 3 decades, she has continued to support our scholarship program through different organizations and uplift young people, and always show up. Very quiet, very humble, wholeheartedly for the next generation. And between me and her, our journey began back in 2000 when I was a freshman in college. And at that time, I first became the president of the Vietnamese Student, not professional, Vietnamese Student Society of BC. And over the years, we worked side by side, through up and down in our community, and we've been through a lot of challenges and celebration and things. But there's one thing I noticed that never changed about Tammy is that she's always there, and her steadfast always there to support young people, youth. As long as you call Tammy, you are young, you call her, she will respond to you. And today is even more actual because today is her birthday. With us, celebrating the achievements of our student instead of her own birthday. And that is who she is, always put out first. And Tammy, you really truly paved the way for all of us. Thank you so much for your leadership and your kindness and your heart. And please join me to congratulations, and I have special gift to you. And I especially invite Linda Cunningham, who is the president-elect of VPABC, representing the young generation of professionals to present this special night to this time. Can I have everyone sing happy birthday to her? Happy birthday to you. honest, I forgot today my birthday. Thank you, Christian. Because I feel, whenever the birthday coming, I feel a little bit older, so I try to not remember. But thank you very much for this. I don't know what's Christian just saying, but I'm just a small person here and try my best to help my community. So thank you very, very much, and thank you, Christian and VPABC. Thank you, everyone, to attending tonight. Good night, and have a good time. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Keisha, for that. And VPABC, thank you so much. I have to agree with everything that Keisha said. I remember when I first met VPABC way back when, she was very, very involved in the Vietnamese community. And I remember, and it brings us to the portion of the program, actually, that's why we're all here, is to celebrate all the award winners. And I remember when I was in high school, I was told of a Vietnamese bursary that was given to Vietnamese Canadians. And I was like, oh, free money, ooh, let's go. And so I applied and I got one as well. And I remember that fondly. And I was very appreciative. So I hope all the winners appreciate the bursary or the award that they're getting tonight, because it definitely helped me on my journey, and I remember being in VPABC at the time as well. And so at this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Julie Nguyen again up, and also Mr. Philip Nguyen. He's the Director of Scholarship Selection. And so to be able to choose who wins these awards, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. They're able to go through all the different essays, go through the background of each student, and Philip was the one who actually spearheaded all that. So thank you so much for your time and dedication for that, for the team and everyone behind the scenes. So you can all help me give me a quick round of applause to invite you two up.
It is my absolute honor to be introducing with Dr. Julie, the scholarship winners this year. The first time we did it, it was in a little faux restaurant family style, and I'm just amazed about how glammed up it is now, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. First of all, I'd like to thank all the other judges on the panel. This was a complete team effort. Dr. Kim Wing Chi, raise your hand. Everybody knows Dr. Chi. He was part of our panel. Of course, Dr. Julie Wayne. Kristen Dow. I don't know if Kristen's here, but if she is, please raise your hand. And then last but not least, Kang Wing. It was a very difficult assignment, given all the worthy applications, and they all worked tirelessly to identify the winners. So I think the next natural question that you have before we introduce our winners is exactly what are they winning? What hoops did they pass to get these scholarships and bursaries? Starting with the scholarships, I just want to explain what our criteria were. Our scholarship students make their home in BC, so it's a very local scholarship. They're currently enrolled in a public post-secondary or trade school. Their parents are Vietnamese, or the student has volunteered in a Vietnamese Canadian nonprofit organization. They all have good grades. They have volunteer experience and even work experience. And they have also written eloquently about their commitment to helping the Vietnamese community, the Vietnamese Canadian community in British Columbia. So if you have the time, try to read their essays on our website. They are inspiring. So these students are our future stars, and they've already accomplished so much in their young lives. And now, I'm going to introduce them one by one for you.
So the first bursary scholarship winner is Brian Ma. Where's Brian? medical student. So I have a couple of friends here who are doctors. Doctors here, doctors as well. All doctors over there. I remember first year, so much to learn. Also like super excited to be a doctor eventually. And now I am like 15 years into my career. And reading your essay was really inspirational because it was a long day, and then you take the time to read these essays, and it is really like it uplifts you, right? It gives you the energy. So I just really recommend that everyone's busy, but you want to just take a moment and read like the future. Really, it's really inspirational. So he has a lot of experience right there, and what struck me in his essay was when he wrote, I'm committed to giving back to the Vietnamese Canadian community that raised me by continuing to build spaces where our voices are heard, our youth are supported, and our stories are celebrated. So, Brian Ma, everyone.
My name is Brian, as you can see, and thank you so much for having me here tonight. I want to start by expressing my heartfelt gratitude to the Scholarship Foundation and all of its supporters for this recognition and the award. Your generosity truly makes a difference in the lives of students like myself. I would also like to congratulate the other award winners, who we'll find out about soon. It's inspiring to stand alongside these times. Looking around this room, I'm reminded of the strength that comes from our Vietnamese Canadian community. A community shaped by resilience, taking risks, and the courage to overcome adversity. So while I'm honored to be recognized tonight, I want to acknowledge that anything and everything I have ever and will ever accomplish is thanks to the community of people that have supported me. My mentors, colleagues, friends, my partner, and most importantly, my family, have the foundation of it that I've taken.
Ba mẹ ơi, con cảm ơn ba mẹ vì mọi hy sinh và từng lời động viên đã giúp con trưởng thành và có được như hôm nay.
As I start my first year of medical school, this support allows me to focus on becoming not just a competent physician, but one who advocates for change and stays grounded to the community that raised me. I'm inspired to create spaces and opportunities for those who will come after me, just like those who have done before me. To everyone here tonight, sponsors, organizers, and guests, thank you for reminding us that we do not achieve anything alone.
Xin chân thành cảm ơn quý vị đã ủng hộ và nhắc nhở chúng con rằng thành công không bao giờ là chuyện của một người. Thank you.
Actually, before moving on to the next scholarship winner, I have to point out that Brian Ma won the Dr. Julie Wing scholarship. Julie sponsored that scholarship for Brian, so she should be recognized for that. All right, and our second scholar is Bao Wing. Bao is a graduate of Outer Grove Community Secondary School. He's entering for a Bachelor's of Applied Science program at UBC. He's got numerous academic work in sciences, math, and entrepreneurship. He's had, I don't know how he has the time, but he's also volunteered as a school ambassador, welcoming newcomers, and as a peer tutor, helping fellow Vietnamese Canadian students. But not only that, he's also worked for money to help him and his family as a bottle sorter, as a pizza maker, and his goal, and again, he's just starting university, but his goal is to create effective radiation treatment plans for cancer patients. So I was inspired by him. I was inspired by his words. I want to share a little bit of his own words to you before I call him up. In his essay, he says that in the long run, I would like to contribute to the development of more culturally adequate and accessible care of Vietnamese families in BC, particularly those with limited education, low income, or recent immigrants to Canada. My profession in medical dosimetry will not be only a scientific endeavor, but a very personal one to restore dignity, clarity, and compassion to the patients who require it most. Please come up. chào chú. My name is Bao. So I'm one of the recipients who got awarded the VPABC scholarship, and I would like to say a very huge, like actually huge, appreciated thank you to the VPABC Scholarship Foundation for giving me the chance to stand here and express my gratitude. And to be honest, just standing here is my privilege, and receiving this scholarship is my honor. As a first-generation Vietnamese immigrant and as a college student, this scholarship means so much to me. It's not only eases my financial burden for my education, but it also reminds me that I am supported by a community that values our work, perseverance, and pursuit of education. I cannot express how thankful I am and how much I appreciate this scholarship, and this is a truly blessing. And once again, I would like to thank to the Vietnamese Professionals Association of British Columbia for giving me the chance to stand here. Also, I would like to thank to my family, my girlfriend, for always supporting me. And thank you. I hope we all can enjoy a wonderful night together. That's it.
Thank you, Bao. The next scholarship recipient. Ryan So. So Ryan is entering the SFU School of Business. And when I read his CV and his application, I saw that he founded Cleats for Kids, which is an organization that donates soccer gear to elementary school students. And I think that was a great feat to achieve at such a young age. So I wouldn't have been able to accomplish that. So it's very inspiring when I read your essay as well. And the quote that I have from your essay is that many immigrant families often lack access to clear financial advice or support. I want to bridge that gap by offering practical guidance in areas like budgeting and investing that empower a community to build long-term stability. Sometimes all it takes is someone who understands your background to make financial topics feel more accessible. So Ryan, would you come on up?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan. Sorry if my voice is a bit scratchy. I'm actually sick today. Recovering, but I want to be here today to make sure I show my support and appreciation for this award. I'm really honored to receive this scholarship. I want to thank VPABC, all the sponsors, and all the donors. I also want to thank them for supporting students like me. Your generosity doesn't just help us financially, it shows us that our hard work that we put in is recognized and valued. It also means a lot to me as a child of a Vietnamese immigrant. My mom came to Canada as a young child after escaping Vietnam by boat. Her courage and resilience have always made me proud to be Vietnamese. I'm now studying at the BD School of Business, and this support will help me towards my future goals. Once again, I want to thank VPABC, all the sponsors and donors. I enjoyed the celebration so far, met some new people, enjoy the night, and I hope the same for you. I hope you all enjoyed the night. And then overall, thank you. Thank you to VPABC, sponsors and donors. This money will help me a lot. Thank you.
So Ryan, I think, is our first scholar from the SFBB school, but certainly not the last. There's actually quite a, you'll notice a bit of a trend, there's quite a number of students who are part of the SFB Business School this year, so it's quite a hotbed of talent. I'm just going to give a second for our next student. Speaking of whom, Eva Lowe. She is a graduate of Cold Riverside Secondary School, and as I said, entering into SFU as a Bachelor of Business Administration student. Eva is the founder of Girls for Ghana Port Coquitlam, which is a student initiative focused on social media's impact on self-esteem. She not only has a very long list of volunteer work, but she also works as well as had worked as a part-time cashier. Her goal is to be a wellness marketing manager promoting mental health among the Vietnamese Canadian community. That's such an amazing and unique goal. She says that the underrepresentation of mental health in Vietnamese Canadian culture is often viewed with shame and could lead to social isolation. With this scholarship, I will continue to turn challenges into opportunities using my marketing and leadership skills to create positive change in wellness and equity. Please go to Eva Lowe.
Hi everyone, my name is Eva. I'm a first year business student at Fundraiser University, and I'm very inspired by Dr. Denon's story about it. First of all, I would like to say that my dad also escaped out on his journey from the Vietnam War with the Americans up there. And I think what's really valued to me is that his perseverance is that he's willing to take risks and lead it with them, even though his sister died on one of the boats down there as well. So I think it's very valuable for me to learn that even though you take on risks, you can also step outside of your comfort zone, and that could lead you to new opportunities down there. My mom also had mental health illness, so that's what made me very empowered to start my student-led initiative. Is because I was growing up as a single, as the only child when I was a little kid, I was very isolated to my own world too. It's hard for me to connect with people because I live in a small town in Port Coquitlam, and most people around there are not Asians. Everyone's mostly white as well, you can see. So that's very hard for me to speak English with them because my first language was Cantonese. And then, so that was very tough for me. But then once I started making my own little initiative about my student run initiative, my goal was to raise more about mental health awareness because that's very valuable for me. But also because I have that part of me is that I really want to develop leadership skills, especially from my childhood. So developing my leadership skills, sharing that with some high school students around me who are willing to have some volunteer hours, giving back for them. What made me really go into business, even though initially I wanted to go to science as a pharmacist, because in my volunteer work I've done pharmacy, which really made me realize how important healthcare is and that everyone should have access to healthcare equally. But doing my initiative was really important. Becoming a mentor at a Coco's farmers market made me realize that I really want to go to business and that I have this creativity, this entrepreneur that I feel inside me that I feel I need to grow for. So I'm really happy with my studies down there. In the future, I really want to mix healthcare and business together because I want everyone to have equal support of healthcare, since that's very important. And I gotta say that's one part of me, and I'm very excited to win one of the VPABC scholarship and to support with my education, especially with my tuition, because I'm a first generation student in my family. So very happy with that, very proud of myself, and I'm looking to continue with my hard work and my motivation down there, and my optimistic attitude. Thank you.
So our next recipient is Tu Wing Wing. Graduate of Mount Teresa Secondary School from West Kelowna. Currently a UBC student studying political science with a minor in law and society. So the quote from the essay, given the opportunity, I will continue creating meaningful spaces for cultural engagement, fostering collaboration between community organizations, and using my education to uplift and empower Vietnamese Canadians. My commitment to this community is lifelong, and I hope to play a leading role in building a future where Vietnamese youth across BC feel proud, connected, and heard. Is Thuy?
Good evening, everyone. It is truly an honor to stand before you all as a recipient of the VPABC Scholarship Award. I'd first like to extend my deepest gratitude to the Vietnamese Professional Association of British Columbia, as well as the donors and sponsors who helped fund this award. It is truly an incredible opportunity that you have made possible for all the young Vietnamese people in BC. Thank you for all of your work in supporting and cultivating our community. I'd like to give a special thanks to the VPABC Executive Council, especially to our President-elect and our Scholarship Foundation Chair, for working so hard on making tonight happen. So far, it's been such an inspiring and joyful experience, so thank you so much for this. I'd also like to give thanks to my family, some of who are here in attendance today. Thank you for being here and supporting me and encouraging me through all my endeavors. Finally, I want to acknowledge my dad, who recently deceased. She's always watching me and wishing me well. I owe all my achievements to her for encouraging me and inspiring me to be the best I can. Thank you. That is all from me. Thank you everyone for attending tonight and fundraising for the next round of scholarships. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their evenings.
All right, well that was our scholarship winners, but we're certainly not done. This is actually the first year where we have a completely new category of award winners that is for a bursary. I'll go through the bursary criteria with you. It's more need-based. Our bursary students, they'll also make their home in British Columbia. They are currently enrolled in a public post-secondary trade school, just like our scholarship students. And like our scholarship students, their parents are Vietnamese, or the student has volunteered in a Vietnamese Canadian nonprofit organization. Our winners in the bursary are unique in that they provided compelling stories describing their journeys through hardship to reach their educational goals. They've also told us convincingly how this bursary would help them. So the hardship might be overcoming language or cultural barriers, or living in a remote place away from the comfort of your own people. The hardship can be financial, having to work to put yourself through school, or even having to provide support to your family while you're studying. And so we heard these stories, we heard these courageous stories about overcoming these hardships as well, and about how a bursary might help a student pay rent or buy school supplies, maybe help them work less hours at a job and spend more time studying, and how a bursary might give them the confidence that despite these challenges, they're on the right track. And so we're really proud to present our first class of bursary winners tonight. I have to say, because I know Julie's not going to say it, but the first bursary winner is the winner of the Dr. Julie Wing bursary. You heard that right. She also put up and supported a bursary along with a scholarship. So, Julie.
Thank you, the winner of the bursary is Lynn Wing. She's currently a Bachelor of Science student at UBC, and her goal is to be a doctor one day. So that would be great. So Lynn, why don't you come up? Oh, she's not. Okay. Well, we wish her the best.
We wish her the best, yes. Okay, and a winner of our general bursary is Judy Tran, which I can say Judy's here. Judy's currently at the University of the Fraser Valley studying for a business administration diploma. She's been working and volunteering while obtaining her educational goals. She's a freelance photographer, a senior graphic designer when she was at secondary school, diversity advocate, and a presenter at a Board of Education. She wants to be the first in her family to graduate from university, and she says that this bursary will be very valuable to help her get through university. So, Judy, come on.
my name is Julie, and I'm so glad and honored to be here. I'd first like to start out by thanking the Vietnamese Professional Association, the donors, the sponsors, and everyone who could make this award happen, everyone who came here today. This scholarship motivates me so much in my studies. It is a tremendous encouragement, and it supports me so much. I'm so honored and so grateful. Thank you so much for everyone for investing in not only my education, but my future and my family's future as well. As I am supporting my family with financial stress, this scholarship relieves a lot of financial burden off me and allows me to focus a lot more on studying instead of worrying so much about tuition. So thank you so much for that. Your encouragement support means a lot to me, and although my family can't be here, they also want to express their gratitude and their thanks for everyone as well. And for some words in Vietnamese, or my Vietnamese is kind of broken. Em cảm ơn Vietnamese Professional Association, các nhà tài trợ và đặc biệt là Glacial Natural Skincare. Học bổng này giúp em có thêm động lực để tiếp tục học tập. Em xin cảm ơn mọi người ạ. So the next bursary is the Dr. Kimchi bursary. So it goes to Quan Nguyen, who's currently a student at SFU doing a Bachelor's of Business Administration. Has also had time to be a program facilitator for Healthy Youth Relationships program for Canadian Red Cross. And his goal is to be a forensic accountant to help vulnerable people. All right, so Quan, come up.
Hi everyone, good evening. I hope everyone is enjoying their dinner so far. And before I give my thanks, I'd like to talk a bit about, so like on my way to work here, like preparing for presentation last week, I thought to myself, like what does it truly mean to be Vietnamese? And like growing up in a small town in Saskatchewan, it was really hard for me to really understand the cultural connection of what being a Vietnamese person does. And after getting the chance to hear my story here and getting a chance to interact with everyone here, I can comfortably say that everyone here embodies perfectly what it means to be Vietnamese. Like Danny's story, I can reassure you that all Vietnamese people are very hardworking, diligent, empathetic, and very committed to this community as a whole. So after hearing that, I am very proud to be a Vietnamese, and with provide specifically, I would like to thank Dr. Kimchi for giving me the opportunity to be here, and I would like to sincerely give my thanks to all the sponsors, to the board of the VPABC, and to everyone attending here to this event today. It is your generosity in supporting students like us that gives everyone, all the students here an opportunity to see a light, to give back to the future generations. And I think I can attest that all of the students here will strive their best for excellence and will give all the effort to giving back to the community. And I'm very grateful to be a part of the VPABC community. And I would like to say a few words in tiếng Việt này. So, con cảm ơn cô chú rất nhiều ạ. Con cảm ơn mọi người đã dành thời gian ra để con có mặt ở đây. Con xin kính gửi lời cảm ơn đến ba mẹ của con, đến ông ngoại và nội và tất cả gia đình của con đã tin tưởng nỗ lực của con và đã ủng hộ con trong suốt chặng đường của con. Và con xin rất cảm ơn mọi người rất nhiều đã cho con cơ hội để đứng trên đây, và con đã cho con và con khẳng định rằng là tất cả các học sinh tại nhiều nhà tưởng sẽ cố gắng hết mình để nỗ lực hỗ trợ thế hệ mới để cho cộng đồng người Việt của mình sẽ phát triển một cách thịnh vượng. Con xin cảm ơn rất nhiều.
So it was such an absolute honor to meet these scholars, and can everybody just give them another round of applause?
Hey. Hello, hello, I'm back. Wasn't that amazing? Oh my gosh, congratulations to the winners. That is, what a great way to start your journey. And so, we are nearing the conclusion of our event, my friends. And before we have a couple things left, so we're going to have a raffle soon and an auction. Okay, if you haven't seen some of the stuff in the back, we'll be talking about it soon. But before we get there, can I get Tammy to come up here? I just want to give a shout out. So, if you didn't know, we have some opportunities to purchase some alcohol in the back if you want to share a bottle or a drink or what have you with your friends or your table. And so I just want to say thank you to Rosie of RSL Lending and Mortgage. Can you, where's Rosie? Rosie, can you come on up?
Kính thưa quý vị, Rosie là một người trong member trong nhóm của VPABC. Thank you. Rosie đã tặng một cái chai rượu rất là hiếm, tên đó là Quinta da Costa. It's a vintage port wine. Trị giá ở ngoài retail is about $500 or more, but she's putting it over there for $205. So I think for those who do drink, you will know that this is a very good and rare gift to be able to give or keep. So or whatever that you buy with us tonight, you are giving us a donation. Rosie has bought a Hennessy XO and Hennessy VSOP. In here, yes, we were selling it to her, let's say $350, but VPABC makes $300. So please, your donation, your purchases, your silent auctions goes to VPABC. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rose, for buying all this, and thank you, Rose, for donating furthermore alcohol. Thank you. So please move up there and go look at them, please. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rosie and Tammy, for sharing that. And you know, to get here, I'm talking about the students here now. Like, you know, congratulations again on your awards, but tonight is just one night to celebrate you all, right? It's the work that you put in day after day that allowed you to actually earn those awards. So congratulations on that step-by-step daily process. And so now we have the raffle, 50-50 raffle coming up right now. And so if anybody hasn't had a chance to actually purchase some tickets, we're going to give you a little bit more time at this time. If you'd like to get some 50-50 tickets, of course what that means is 50% of the proceeds goes towards the Scholarship Foundation and the other 50 goes towards you. And so we are selling the raffle tickets for $25 for half an arm's length, and for full arm's length is $40. Okay, so this is the end of the night, friends. So if you ever want to donate or be a part of it, now is a great opportunity to be able to do that. And so anybody who would like to, we accept cash, e-transfer, credit card. We accept all forms of payment. And so if anyone would like to actually donate this time, please put your hand up. I can get one of the VPABC
volunteers to actually go to you and accept payment. And if anyone else is interested in some of the auction items, now's a great chance to go back there and take a look. There's a beautiful 12-piece brandy set that we're going to be auctioning off. So all those are auction items. It's not a silent auction. It's going to be a live auction. We started a little bit. But right now it's the 50-50 raffle. So if anybody would like to purchase any, please put your hand up and I'll have somebody take it.
Bought it, but I feel sorry for you. You got up there.
50-50?
And then I forgot they bought it at the US costing water. Here you made it and sold without
There's someone to observe.
Yeah.
I've got to go over and order something. Especially because I treat my Austin really wanted to be here too. His brother Martin came from my family. That's a very inspiring speech up there.
Alright, so while we figure out the 50-50 and while people are taking a look at the auction items, can I invite a couple of the staff from the Danon's table to come up and share about the intern program while we figure out that auction?
Is that you, Gary?
Yes.
Very nice.
Thank you very much, everyone. My name is Tom. I work with the wonderful Mr. Danon, who was on stage earlier. Even though I'm not so funny, but today we would like to give an opportunity for any prospect students. As we continue to grow globally, we have a lot of opportunity within our group. For anyone interested, we have our innovation center. We work with UBC on innovation technology center, food tech. So if anyone who think that they can contribute and want to learn and grow within our group, we can consider internship or even full-time opportunity for anyone interested. Not only on that tech side, but we also growing more commercially as well. So business administration, of course, MBA. Anyone who have the passion, dedication as our core value, dedication, drive, passion. So anyone interested can contact us. We have office here in Richmond and Delta. Our HR name Judy, or you can come talk to me afterwards as well. I will give the contact to the admin here. So if anyone interested, you email us. Thank you.
Sorry.
So thank you so much for sharing this. And so there's some people at the back grabbing the raffle tickets, and Tammy here is walking around as well. So if anyone would like to, again, please check it out. While they do that, actually, I'm just going to go back and I'll just share a little about some of the auction items. Because I think the raffle tickets are going to take a little bit of time. So there are a couple of wine bottles, like Tammy was talking about. There is this beautiful 12-piece set of brandy with each bottle in the shape of a zodiac sign. We also have 5 printed maps of old Vietnam. The old is from 1608. And we also have 5 gift certificates from Pho and Wool. And they are located at 2323 Campus. So we have a number of auction items, my friends. So if you'd like some more information or want to take a closer look, please do so now while we finish up the raffle tickets. And once the raffle tickets are done, we will do a quick draw and then auction off the items, and we'll be concluding shortly after that. Thank you.
There's a lot of things to do whenever you want to do something.
Cô ăn nè, pin flash, pin nước phải không? Bây giờ qua đây làm cái gì mà bất động sản hả? Nghĩ à?
Hi, everybody like to get your wish? Yeah.
Đó, ở đây không làm gì. Lau nhà, không phải ở nhà lau nhà, xong rồi xuống tóc ở dưới đất, xong hút bụi. Thứ bảy là tôi lau nhà, hút bụi, xong rồi kiếm cái gì lại. Xong rồi đúng giờ là đi chợ về bắt đầu nấu ăn, xong rồi về vào. Xong người ta không đi đâu hết, mùa hè đi ra ngoài trồng bò. Xong rồi mai mốt ở đây hai tấm phần giá đi về giá. Điểm ở đây là 46 năm nữa là sao? Từ đâu ở đây rất là giá. Mình phải xài tốn tiền để tháng 12 tốn tiền. Tại hết chứ tháng 12 để mua quà cho mình, để mua vui. Tại thì lấy nhớ nha, mua quà cho tôi nha. Ai cũng mua quà và ở tháng 12. Và về mua ở Mỹ quà đi.
Hello, hello. So a little bit change plans. So we'll take the route because actually we're going to take a little bit of time to complete. So first of all, thank you to everyone who's part of the 50 round. Every little bit definitely counts and it adds up. So instead of doing the raffle first, we're actually going to do the auction right now. And so, oh, this
takes care of all the admin.
the ticket's over here. If you want to take it, I'll grab somebody to come over there. Two times. But in the meantime, we're going to start the auction. So if you want to take a look at the auction items, please do so now. We can start in like 2 minutes.
It'll unlock something for you. It'll open up, another opportunity for you to understand how the factory or how the facility works. Get the standardized operating procedures and all that. So that might be good.
Please, when you contact me, please text.
Chưa mua được vé, tại bây giờ Hawaii đi qua bên kia đó, lên bằng vé xe đó.
Contamination and all that. Yeah.
Ai đó cũng cho người ta qua, bây giờ phải bên kia để hạn hán, ai không có nước.
Oh, okay.
Cố tình góp với người ta để cho qua, tăng cái giá bằng 200%, 200% đến 300% để người ta đừng có đi. Lát nó không có toàn là cái gì không nhớ bình thời đó chứ mình có đi nữa thì qua đây lên giá kiếm được
Well, no, I know, but you still have to put somewhere down. Yeah, have to spend somewhere.
Of course, we have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's not cheap. Really?
All right, friends. Okay, so we're gonna do the raffle, the auction. I can't really control this, so I'm gonna end this live right now. But grateful to be a part of this event. It's amazing. I love it when people come together in community to help others move forward in their lives. So we gotta invest in our future, which are our kids. Okay. I love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.